Hi. Here with my first review of the day, third try. Let's let's go on with this. This is my favorite Stooges album. I mean, it's it's just amazing. It would be a Stooges Funhouse. I mean, this album is just their most different album. If that makes sense. I mean, it's their most experimental. I mean, it's that kind of jazzy on certain tracks, minimalist on certain tracks. I mean, simple on certain tracks. I mean, I can tell this album did go on to influence a lot of no wave and punk jazz bands. I mean, with just tracks, like Funhouse and L.A. Blues, which are like crazy. But I mean, you could tell Ron Ashton got a lot better guitar on this album. I mean, some of the solos on here are excellent. I mean, but I'm go ahead and go into the track. We're gonna go ahead and review the tracks. First track, Down on the Street, one of the Stooges' most notable track, one of the Stooges' most notable tracks. This track is it's simple, but it's pure proto punk. I mean, the thing about it, it has a really heavy groove to this song. I mean, the riff and the chorus, and the groove to this song it's very memorable. It's really catchy. It tends to it'll get stuck in your head. If you like the song a lot, it'll get stuck in your head for like weeks and stuff. And second track, Loose. This track is very distortion heavy. The guitars and the bass use a lot of distortion on this. I mean, but it's good distortion on here. And another one of my favorite things about the track that I like is the vocals on here is what they did what studios, what Iggy and the boys did, Iggy and Ron did this album is, especially on this track, is they didn't they used very few or very few to none to no reverb or an overdub on here. I mean, vocals on this album are very compressed. I mean, next track, TVI. Um, One of their best tracks off here. Very minimalist lyrics. Minimalist, has a heavy groove, like the first track on here. For Dirt, one of the most interesting tracks on this album. It's very bluesy, very like slow, uh, very nice soloing on this album though. I mean, Ron's solos on this track is excellent. Uh, Next track, 1970. I mean, also people call it I Feel Alright, but this is one of the most memorable tracks of the album. Uh, Chorus, everything. I mean, the lyrics are very catchy. Song is pure proto punk. And then next track, self-titled self-titled track, Funhouse. Um, Album is the most interesting one on here. Has some very extreme changes on here. I mean, on this track, it goes from like a minimalist proto-punk, like lyrics and all that, just like somewhere between like the middle of this track, it just like crazy like free jazz saxophones just come in, just like out of nowhere. I mean, in the seventh and final track, and my favorite track off of here, L.A. Blues, the most interesting track on here, which is this is a very experimental track. I mean, guitars and bass very distortion heavy. There's like free jazz saxophones through the whole song. It's pretty, there's crazy saxophones. I mean, the vocals are just really fucking crazy. I mean, there literally isn't even vocals to this. You're just like screaming and like yelping and all. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it is one of their most. I mean, this track is very noisy too, like early noise and all that. But this track is their most my favorite Stooges album and a lot different from the first album. But perfect 10, 10 out of 10. See you guys next time.